So I'm calling this one 5 a.m. thoughts because that's when the thought came. It might have been more like 4:30. Yeah. So pretty much for me, I'll wake up and then it's on. It's just rolling. I can't turn it off, you know. So I got the thought, well, I think it kind of stemmed from my mom telling me, you should journal. And I'm like, I'm in front of a computer at work, clickety clack. I don't want to type anything more when I get home. I don't really I can't. I mean, I do know cursive, good skill. But I don't want to write it. I just want to say it. So these are some thoughts. So I was thinking about it and 5 a.m. and I was like, I could just record what you might say in a journal or kind of like the Notebook. That movie was so cool when it was cool, but I can't watch it anymore. I don't. I'm sorry. But like, what if I don't remember my own stories? So this I'll just say them, and then you guys can play it for me if I can't remember anymore, and then I'll remember, and I'll be like, oh, it's you. So that was part of it. And then I got to thinking too about, well, the original one. So then that's where I got the idea to do this. And then for some reason, I was thinking about old boyfriends. And, you know, you go through that time where you're mad, or maybe you're the one who broke the heart. I've done both. Like, I did the heartbreaking, I got my heart broke. But now when I look back, like each one brought something to the table. Each one brought something that made me who I am today. And that's what I was thinking about. Um, Tom, I recently found a picture of Tom. I don't do a lot of stalking, but I did a little stalking. He's hard to find because, his name's Tom. But I found him. My gosh, he looks like the same but gray. Yeah, that was cool because I hadn't, seen him since we were 21. Um, but he pretty much looks exactly the same. And so I was thinking about Tom. The best thing about Tom was that he taught me you can go off course. We were in a really conservative church, and they had a rule that you don't tell a girl you love her until you've put a ring on her finger. And I remember he and I were standing with someone who was like 2 years older than us, but was, kind of like the boss of us at church, and said, Tom, you shouldn't be telling Liza that. And he just put his arm around me and he said, why not? I love her. I'm going to tell her I love her. And I was like, whoa, such a maverick rule breaker. And I think I left that relationship with that like, you can push back a little bit and question the status quo because I'm a pretty big rule follower. I think is how I grew up. So that was a good lesson. Thanks, Tom. Um, Eric taught me about chivalry. Eric was very conscious of making sure that I was safe and taken care of. And, it's just not something you find a whole lot. And I really appreciated that about Eric. Um, when we would walk on the street, he'd walk on the street side, like details. And he'd make sure that he was making sure that I was okay. And that was awesome. Um, Mike, Mike kind of ruined my credit, but we're being positive. Mike was very alternative and cool and creative, and he introduced me to music, lots of music. I grew up conservative and I didn't get exposed to a lot of different kinds of music, but I love music, all genres. And Mike introduced me to that. Um, I think first or second date, we watched The Wall, and I was like, whoa. So I appreciated that. Old boyfriends. It's easier to look back and think of some cool things that came out of that. All right, that's it for now. How long would that have taken to write? right? Sorry, Mom.